And another thing, back in what was that, the 90s? Johnny Gamish case or the 80s?
That was
Couldn't
that
have
was the
been
90s. That was the 90s.
So the federal consent decree must have just ended like '05 then.
Johnny Gamish was like 91, 92.
Alright. Well, when Johnny Gamish got killed by the cops, there was a federal consent decree over Pittsburgh, and that's what we ultimately want here again, a federal consent decree.
Okay.
Where like the police got to answer to the feds for like everything they do.
The only reason they put that out there, I mean, it was good they had it, but Johnny Gamish was related to a Stillers. One of the pictures was Stillers.
Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, and so it was like his first cousin. Wasn't he driving his car?
I'm not sure.
He was. I think he was driving his cousin's car, which was a Jaguar. And Jerome Bettis pushed the issue, being that he was a sports figure and he was already had a big name because he was real good, and he pushed the issue, and he had people that he probably knew people that knew people, and then they, you know what I mean. But when it's just a nobody type of dude to them, it's no big deal. It'll blow over. We the first ones that ain't let it blow over, and they sitting down. I mean, they act like they don't care. They nervous and shit because we going hard.
And there's an internal investigation, but we know that's like the police and the police.
We just, we asked them for a federal investigation. That's what we want. That'll save the taxpayer money. It'll save us money. But the city's all about money, so I guess that might be the reason why it didn't come.
The reason.
But they know it's wrong. I mean, the lawyers we had said they took it to the feds. The feds looked at the affidavit, then seen the video, and they said this whole affidavit is falsified. So if they said that, I mean, why do we even got charges? Because the police committed a crime on tape, and when the cop committed a crime, it's a federal offense. So they committed a crime on tape. So all we asking for is the police to come in and view this situation and make these guys be held accountable for the crime they committed. Because right now, my son's a victim, not a suspect.
We feel like the more media attention we get on my case and these other cases in Pittsburgh, the more aware people are going to get, and outsiders is going to put the spotlight on Pittsburgh. Like, why is this going on here? Like, what is really going on? Why does Leon Ford? Why is he being charged? What's going on with the Jordan Miles case? What's going on with the Dennis Henderson case? And the more media attention we get here, I think someone is going to have to stand up because too many people are going to ask questions.
Right. And this is all from the same zone 5. Like, that should raise a red flag right there.
Another thing about Zone 5, you got 3 black cops who works in that zone, and I don't care how much you see the police from Zone 5, you never see them partnering up with whites or blacks partnering up. Never. There's so much racist tension in that zone amongst the blacks and whites. They don't even speak to each other down there. So these are the same people that patrol our streets with our kids. They beefing with their own black officers. They come out here and they do what they want to do.
This rally on March 8th, I've really organized the entire event by myself.
That's crazy.
No NAACP, like nobody.
And it's going to take the youth to really change this thing up.
Cause
they got to stick together.
Because all the older people that's running that, they're not looking out no more. They're getting what they can get, and they're stepping back. Like, we had one female go to a meeting trying to, organize everybody to actually see this tape, and the older people from this organization, they was like, is he worth losing our grant money and all that? It's all about money. They ain't doing nothing, man.
So how do you feel about unity amongst our community? Do you feel like, we stick together, or do...
No, we're very much divided.
Yes.
Very much divided. And I think if we were to come together and stick together, because there's times we come together and it's just like a trend. Everybody wants to be a part of a trend, and we come together just for a couple days and on social networks, and everybody black out their picture,
Yes.
but there's no action with the unity. And I feel like if we come together, a lot can be done.
And it needs to be a movement, not a moment.
Well, that's what this rally basically is all about.
Keep-
Trying to let them see that this is serious, and a long-awaited. We need a federal investigation. I mean, they're wasting taxpayers' money. They should have let the cops be accountable for what they did, but they hid it, so it's bigger than the cops now. Now, when it comes down, it's going to come down on the whole city. So that's what this movement is about.
So is it like, I know the movement is like, did you start like an organization or something, like a foundation for it, or?
Yeah, basically, my mom, and during the interview, my mom said we need to stand up for Leon because Leon is paralyzed and can no longer stand up for himself. So people were hashtagging stand up for Leon, and I'm like, man, this is bigger than me. So I start hashtagging stand up for justice, and that's where that came from. So for me, hashtagging stand up for justice, I'm gonna have a justice rally, and it's a rally for me, but it's also a rally for like this guy Jordan Miles. He was beat up by the police. Dennis Henderson, he was beat by the police. The L brothers, they were tased by the police. And, like one of the L brothers, he was actually tased until he was unconscious. Yeah, and all these cases stemmed out of the same police station, Zone 5 police station here in Pittsburgh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's just what.
And that's within the past 3-4 years.
That ain't even that long, is it?
Jordan Mouse was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, so that's just a percentage, maybe like 1% of the cases. I mean, they're like notorious for murdering people, and they use the same excuse that they use on my son.
We thought
he had a gun. We thought we seen a gun. And
And then when
this young man have tinted windows. I mean, the same thing, man. I mean, it's like a burnt out. It's a burnt out. It's burnt out. I mean, like you was just asking him not to take a. You was just asking him, is it racist? Yeah, Pittsburgh's like the New South. It's racist, and you asked him, was it hitting? No, it's not hitting here, not at all. If you out there, you gonna see it. Pittsburgh, it's not hitting here,
that's not even.
and it's getting worse. I mean, it stems from the mayor all the way down to the police force. It's getting worse.
Yeah, if you actually look, or the acting police chief, he was acting when I actually got shot. He just got indicted, and he got to do 18 months in a federal prison now. And he was the acting police chief when I got shot. Yeah.
And they looking for the mayor right now. Star, they can't find him. They looking for him because of that stuff was talking.
Oh yeah.
They said they can't locate him. So he might be on the run. They're so arrogant here that one of his buddies got pulled over. He was just explaining about using somebody's car. And he asked the cop, was he the cop that or you one of the cops that was in the arrested Leon Ford? And the cops answer to that was, no, if it was me, he wouldn't be here right now. He'd be dead. So this is the type of stuff, all from our Zone 5 police station,
Right.
But they like, they expect like guys like me, his father, to keep sitting back watching this type of stuff go on, man, and it's horrible. I mean, it's like, it makes you think about death row, here I come type of, you know what I mean? But you gotta be strong because it gotta be with him.
Yeah.
But in the same token, you know what I mean? It give you, I don't even give it attitude, cause you know what I mean? So, once I feel one day he don't need me, I wouldn't care. Because the stuff that I feel so disrespected, as far as his mother too. We feel so disrespected that someone violated our kid, and we know for a fact we know our kid, we know it's all lies, and they know it's all lies, but they still pursue these charges on my son.
because it's
And-
the only way to cover it.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
don't
only
have
way.
to feel justified.